Aloha. Aloha, friends. Aloha. Good morning. A little earlier today. It's 10:45 a.m. here. And it's raining. 'Tis a dark and rainy day, friends, on the rainy side of the big island of Hawaii. And you know, it reminds me of being a little kid. I used to love dark and rainy days when I was a little kid. I'd go in my playroom, and my playroom had no windows, and you could hear the rain really loud there. And I would, you know, if I was with friends, you know, we'd play together, but if not, I would be creating my own world, my own adventure, you know, traveling on a journey in the rain. You know, usually it'd be like a horse-drawn carriage in the rain. The rain was coming down, or, you know, I'd be in the jungle when the rain was coming down. The rain just became this element in my narrative as a child, you know, as this element to play with. So I'm reminded of that this morning, on this dark and rainy morning in Hawaii, and feeling very, very blessed to be here and have this cleansing element of the water in its gifts. So welcome everyone. Aloha, tuning in. I'm Taylor. I never introduce myself on these things. I would like assume y'all already know who I am, which some of y'all do, but others might be new friends. I am a holistic health coach and Reiki master of the Usui Holy Fire Reiki lineage, and a holistic health coach specializing in raw vegan lifestyle. That is my area of, that's the diet I picked, you know. It's the diet that picked me too, like nothing else works. So welcome to day 18 of the 40 days of Reiki. And what we're doing here, my intention with the 40 days of Reiki is to educate, inform, inspire, and intrigue you about Reiki, Reiki energy, Reiki as a tool for healing in mind, body, soul, and spirit, Reiki as a tool for spiritual awakening, Reiki as a spiritual path. And it's really Reiki a la carte too. It's like you can pick any of those options. You can pick 2, you can pick 3, you can pick all of them, you can pick just one. Reiki can be, it's really about cultivating a personal relationship to Reiki. The more I work with Reiki, the more I understand and realize that. And everyone's relationship with Reiki can be different and awesome and beautiful and exactly what you need. So that's what we're doing here. I come on Instagram Live every day for the 40 days. And the 40 days is the Lenten season. It's in honor of Jesus and his journey over the Lenten season, preparing for the end of his human life on earth, that particular chapter of it. And I was inspired to do this 40 days. So we'll be going through, it's April 4th. I keep saying Easter's on April 3rd. It's not. It's on April 4th. So around that time frame is when I will be doing these lives. And the replays are all on my IGTV channel at Joyful Raw Life. Y'all have been having trouble saying my handle lately. And like other people have too. It's kind of like a tongue twister if you say it fast. But IGTV at Joyful Raw Life. It slows you down. It slows you down. There's lesson in medicine in that handle I'm seeing and hearing. And the replays are also available on my much easier to say YouTube channel, Taylor A. Norris, my name. So you can always go there if you want to go back and watch other ones, or like you missed the beginning or the end or whatever, because there's goodness going throughout, you know, all of these. And it really is, it's becoming like this beautiful body of content I'm really like proud of, and like it's awesome. So that is that. Couple announcements. I have a free video mini course, and it is epic, y'all. Like, I'm not just doing it for the heck of it. I'm doing it because it's, my guides are organizing all of the information, all of the lessons, all of the learning I've experienced since I started my spiritual awakening and my vegan path in 2012. It's putting together this foundation for preparing the sacred body container for radiant health, cultivating radiant health as well as cultivating spiritual awakening is basically everything I wish I would have known and been taught when I was like 7, 8, 13, 22, like you pick an age. Like it would have been nice to know this stuff. And now I have, and now I'm getting the sacred geometry, and this formula is coming together, and that's what I'm teaching in my mini course. I'm teaching kind of like the snapshots of it, and I'll be going deeper in a full course, which will be launching later on, and y'all hear about that. But the video course is cool because you get on my email list, and I'm sending you exclusive content. I'm not sharing anything else, and it's not like overwhelming. It's like once a week, so it's not too much. So there's that. I also will be teaching Reiki 1 and 2, Holy Fire Usui Reiki 1 and 2 in May online, meaning you can tune in wherever in the world you are, no matter if you are locked in your house, no matter if you're sick or healthy, no matter if you're able-bodied or disabled, in a chair, in the bed, doesn't matter. If you got Wi-Fi and you got something to Wi-Fi on, then you can come, and you come live, and it's going to be a deeply healing experience, a very empowering experience. I cannot stress enough how beautiful a tool Reiki is during these times. Like the worst thing you can do is have Reiki and not use it, or if you're drawn to Reiki, to not follow your heart with that. So I encourage you to sign up for the wait list. You can get on that. The link is in my bio or in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as how to get on my private email list for that video mini course. So that's what's going on. Let us invoke the Reiki energy with an invocation before I just go totally off. So, Reiki invocation is a short guided meditation that invites the Reiki energy. I've already been inviting it. I've already been working with Reiki energy like 24/7. So this is really empowering this particular container. You, me, everyone who's here, inviting that Reiki energy. You will receive Reiki energy if you want it. If you're like not so sure about it, then the Reiki energy, it's conscious life force energy. It's spiritually guided life force energy. It's going to respect your free will either way. That's the beauty of it. That's what's a very, very cool part of it. So I ask you now to go ahead and close your eyes. Turn your awareness inward. Let go of your external environment. Let go of whatever you were doing before this. Drop into your body. Drop into your breath. Take some nice deep breaths and place your hands comfortably on your body. The light of Reiki fills the air that you breathe. Your breath fills your body with the light. As you breathe in the light within you wakes up. The light within you is revealed. The power of divine love fills your breath and is revealed at the core of your being. The power of the divine mind fills your breath and is revealed at the core of your consciousness. The power of the divine earth, the power of the divine heart fills your breath and is revealed in the light of your heart. The power of the divine earth fills your breath and is revealed in your body. The power of God fills your breath, and the power of God is revealed in you. The power of your Holy Spirit is revealed within you. Look inside and say thank you to you. Appreciate you and how deeply you love. Together we say thank you to the divine ones who join us. We invite your divine guidance, healing, and empowerment. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Thank you, mahalo. As a child of God, I claim my power and purpose as a servant of God. I demand that all darkness leave me and all who are watching immediately. I ask that Archangel Michael place me and all who are watching in his blue bubble of protection against all darkness. juicy Reiki. Y'all, it's funny. I've been having this problem lately where my mind, everything's coming in so fast that like I'll stutter or I'll misspeak, or like I said the wrong line first because I'd like already jumped ahead. Yeah, it's funny. It's like things have sped up my processing speed. This is what they call it in psychology. I have a master's in psychology from like a very normal mainstream program. And they categorize intelligence along like 4 different variables, and one of those is processing speed. And that's often what they're testing in those standardized tests, those IQ tests and all that. And my processing speed has always been good, despite like me seeming like a pretty calm, like slow talking Southern lady. Like my processing speed actually is very fast. And what's funny is in the past couple months, like really since my throat chakra healing and it came unblocked, my processing speed has increased so dramatically that often it's hard for me, like the information's coming in so fast, it's a challenge to articulate it clearly and slowly. You know, for me, it's really funny because I've never had this. I've had this happen in my writing too. And it's giving me, like sometimes the letters will come in the wrong order. And I'm like, oh my God, is this what dyslexia is? Like, you know, not that I feel like I'm becoming dyslexic, but it's like my mind skips ahead to that next letter and it'll come out in the wrong order. And I think maybe dyslexics aren't able to recognize the mistakes. I am able to recognize the mistake and rewrite it and like slow down a little bit. But it's really, really interesting how I'm experiencing real upgrades in my physiology, in my cognition, in my brain, how my brain is working. And, you know, all of that, like really I'm teaching how to do that in my mini course, and then in my course we'll go real in depth with it. But Reiki definitely facilitates a lot of these upgrades. Liz Mar Love is saying, I feel the same. I'm in education and I feel at times my speech is different. Yeah, everything's speeding up right now. Yeah, when I'm doing Reiki, I'm at peace and calm. Usually that was my experience of Reiki. Does make me feel very peaceful and calm, but lately I've also felt like this super energized edge to it. Like I'm experiencing it that way. I guess I am asking my guides for the energy. Like they're just blasting me with energy and I'm like, keep going, like this is great, and working with that. But yeah, it's like a peaceful, energized space. And very excited, energized space. And I think also I was DMing a new friend about this. She was saying, you know, there's a lot of anxiety energy in the air, which like, you know, like the fear that's being blasted on this planet right now. And I think maybe part of my being very energized is actually the flip side of that anxiety energy, which I wanted to talk about too. Perfect segue. The flip side of all this anxiety and fear energy on the earth is excitement, is activation energy. Okay? That's why a lot of us light workers are really feeling drawn and called to step up now, like hardcore. There is this energy that's supporting that. There really is this energy that's supporting us to step up and asking us to step up and release whatever blocks, whatever aspects of personality or our ego that may be impeding us in really blasting the full range, the full spectrum of our light and what we're here to do. Hey, Holistic Misfit. Hey, everybody tuning in. I appreciate y'all being here. We're just talking about the other side of the energy that's available too. You know, there's a lot of fear to be tapped into. We were talking about this yesterday too when I was offering this other way to work with what's going on right now. So a lot of people, they're tuning into the news, they're tuning in, even alternative media, conspiracy theories, all of that. I'm not saying what's right or wrong. Frankly, I don't know, and I don't really want to know. So there's a lot of this fear energy that people can tune into. And I did for a while, because I was like, with my mind in this masculine mode, I really wanted to figure out and get to the bottom of what was happening, like what is the truth, okay? And so I went there. But then what I found was that was lowering my vibration, making me feel terrible. And then when I finally stopped and switched into this other gear that we're talking about yesterday, go rewatch that live if you want, it's towards the end. And starting to really take my power back, because I was giving my power away to external authority. Tell me what's really going on, external authority, tell me, you tell me what's going on, right? All right, and switch gears, internal authority. Let's get back to what really serves Taylor. Let's get back to a pristine raw food diet. Let's get back to extremely consistent yoga practice and movement practice. Let's get back to, growing my own food, doing the things I know really serve and nourish me, meditating twice a day, every day. I stopped tuning into that negative medium. I stopped tuning into the negative media, all of it, and I'm very selective with what I consume. What I consume in terms of food, what I consume in terms of like my senses, even music. I'm very conscious about music, y'all. Music is so powerful. You can heal yourself with it, or you can numb yourself, brainwash yourself with it. It's very, very powerful. Yeah, let's see. Y'all been saying stuff. Hey. I think we all want to know what's going on, but it's not ever truth or accurate. Yes, so the big change I made was to like really looking to my inner authority too, taking my power back, doing my part, right? Like starting to be like, what are my needs? How can I meet all my needs right now? What can I control? I can't control the big picture of what's going on in the world, but I can control what I put in my body in terms of food and all kinds of stimulation, any kind of sensory input. I can control that. Let me work on that. Let me focus on that. And guess what happened, y'all? Like my vibration increase. It continues to increase. And what I'm then tapping into, the gift of tuning out of that fear vibration is not only am I not focusing on it and therefore empowering that worst case scenario, because worrying, you're praying for what you're worrying about to happen. That's what ends up happening. And as I shared yesterday, there's no difference between the visualization, like an athlete visualizing their perfect tennis game, practice, and actually in the brain what it looks like when they are doing the tennis game. The same areas light up. So if you're watching the fear programming violent stuff, you might as well be living through it, and that's traumatizing. That's really, really traumatizing versus, I'm focusing on my own reality. I'm not tuning into that. I'm not being like totally naive and unaware. I'm being very aware and tuning my focus into how do I create my most sacred, pristine, bodily, mind, spirit, soul container so that I can access the divine, so I can access my own truth, because we all have that truth available. We all have that direct connection available. That's what I'm teaching in Reiki, in my mini course, ultimately in my course too, is my whole deal is like I want to help you restore your direct connection with the divine, because we all got it. We all got it. And it's the key. It's the key. Intention is the key. This is the key. But the gift of like not tuning into that fear frequency is I'm empowering, and anyone else who chooses to do this is empowering the best possible, life scenario for yourself, the best possible health and happiness for yourself, your family, your community, the world, right? Because then as your vibration increases, you're showing up to your family differently. You're showing up to your work differently. You may have clarity about what your life path is. With that direct connection to the divine, your guides can like tell you specifically what to do. I'll see what y'all are saying. How about less food or no food? The right amount of food at the right time. Worrying is like praying for something bad to happen. Exactly. Nature is very key. Yes. Thanks for creating a safe healing energy space. Thank you for being here on Meditative Journey. I like the sound of the rain that nourishes and replenishes the earth. Yeah, the water is is beautiful. It's super cleansing. It's so needed. I meant to say in the intro, we got a guest star today. Guest star, this is Rose Quartz. It's a big one. Y'all, she's one of my very good friends. She's been in the room where I sleep, like on the window. She's been charging up, but there was a long time, y'all, this crystal went everywhere with me. You know, even like traveling to Thailand and stuff, she'd be in my bag. I'd sleep with her right on my heart, and Rose Quartz is very, very, very helpful. She wanted to be here today. Like, she was like, hey, like, I want to be here and share with the friends. So she's here. She's supporting all of us. Yeah, I wanted to add about, the gift of not worrying about the worst case scenario and taking your power back, as I was just talking about, is that then it becomes very obvious and clear that there's a lot of breakthrough and activation energy on the planet as well. Okay? That is there. That is there. There are a lot of benevolent beings, non-physical beings, who are working hard as it is. They're like, Earth has so many protectors, and Earth herself, as I've said, is like conscious guided, conscious ascended energy. So she's doing a lot of good things. Things might look like they're out of control, but I think she's got it. She's got it going on. Like, she wants us obviously to take better care of her and like see her for the beauty, the majesty, the power, the conscious being that she is. But she also, like, she is more powerful than we are, you know? Like, she's tapped in, like, all the time. So, but yeah, there are a bunch of benevolent beings standing by who are already helping, but they're also they're needing permission to help in more specific ways too. So they're already doing a lot of good, which is why, you know, a few lives ago I was like, thank your guides. Like, that's one way you can start connecting with them, is to actually just start a gratitude practice. If you have a gratitude practice, include them in it. Even if you're not sure who your guides are, who your angels are, you can start thanking them, and let me tell you, like, they're gonna definitely love that. But then, you know, in cultivating that relationship with them, you can ask them, you can give them permission to help you in more specific ways. And I remember learning this like a while ago and like not really getting that. You know, like, if you've ever had an angel card deck or something, they'll often say, like, I had this one angel card deck, and one of the cards was like, ask the angels or ask for help. And it was saying how you gotta like ask them to help out on certain situations in order for them to have permission to actually do their thing. Because this world operates within a free will paradigm. You know, like, we choose to give our power away. Like, if we're letting something terrible is happening in my life, I'm choosing to let it happen. Like, and that sounds rough and like, oh shoot, but like, I've done it before too. Like, I'm not here to say, like, I've done it before. I've given my power away and let like really terrible things go on in my reality. But what I'm realizing now, like, I've taken my power back, and now beautiful things happen in my reality. I'm happier and healthier than I've ever been in my life. But the same is true of working with angels or guides or any kind of non-physical beings. And that's actually, it's a protective thing too. So it's cool because you need to ask your guides to help with specific things. Take, for example, what we were talking about a few days ago, mom with like codependent, deceased loved ones, right, who are still hanging around, maybe in kind of a haunty way, and you want them to go away. Well, guess what you can do is you can specifically ask Blessed Virgin Mary, who I know you work with, angels and saints, Archangel Michael, Jesus, God, etc., Holy Spirit, to protect you and like and help empower you to ask the set firm and clear energetic boundaries so that deceased loved ones are not haunting, so that, you know, negative entities are not welcome in your space, so that they are not welcome in the vessel of your body. You know, they're not welcome in your field, they're not welcome in your home. And really asking the Blessed Virgin, any other guides you're working with, for help on a specific problem like that. And it can be, you know, a specific like business issue. Y'all, my guides are informing so much of my business and so much of the content that I'm sharing, which y'all, oh my God, makes it so much easier. That's the only way I'm able to show up here every day. It's because I'm empowering my guides and I'm surrendering to whatever information they want to come through. Like, I finally get it. I finally get how people who share all the time, like they're in that surrender process. I really truly believe like all the artists are in that process, you know, performing artists, that's what they're tapping into too. Like, it's really, really cool to switch. And I feel like, yeah, that is one of the things my guides have done in the etheric surgery and the healing I've gotten, is really, really balancing both hemispheres of the brain and the functionality there, the connectivity in between them. So, yeah, I really want to stress that breakthrough and activation energy is available for us right now, that many of us light workers are feeling called to really step up, step into our power, start sharing, you know, offer the healing far and wide, heal ourselves. And I think that is absolutely wonderful. I'm definitely feeling that. And that's what I'm acting out of, that energy and that call, because that call is real. That call is real. Trust the call. Trust the call and follow your heart. Even if it might feel a little risky or something, or you have other voices in your head saying, you know, not to, right? Like, every time I followed my heart and taken a leap of faith, it has been for the best, okay? It might have taken some time for it all to really fall into place. It has. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, one of the downloads I got yesterday when I was walking through the jungle is that the breakthrough will come, okay? The breakthrough will come. The moment when it all clicks into place will come. It will come to you. It wants to come to you. Keep being consistent with your practices. Keep being consistent with your prayers. Keep being consistent with your rosary. Keep being consistent with your meditation. Keep being consistent with activating Reiki, with working with crystals, with your raw food diet, with your exercise, with your detoxification, with your cleansing, with whatever is nourishing your soul. Keep being consistent. Whatever those practices are, trust in them. Trust in them. Trust in them. Trust in them. They will deliver. The breakthrough is around the corner. The things, everything clicking into place can happen. It will happen. It has happened for me recently in a very big way. The analogy that came to mind was, y'all, I've spent a lot of time in the kitchen. Y'all see my page on Instagram, like, it's a ton of food. I've worked in a lot of kitchens. I've done a lot of raw food chefing, a lot of vegan chefing. I was playing in the kitchen when I was a little kid making potions with random things that weren't random, you know? And the analogy that came to mind with everything clicking into place is, if you've ever worked with a food processor, like a Cuisinart or something, you got your food processor. You have the base, you have, you know, the container, put that on, it's got the middle part, the hole in it, you lock it into place. All right, you drop your S-blade in, okay? That's in place. You drop all your ingredients in, you put on the top, turn the top on, and click the on button, and it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. It's like you put the top on wrong, or like the S-blade's not completely on, or something in the food processor. You gotta have everything lined up just right. So then it's like, oh shoot, you know, gotta take the ingredients out. Maybe it's a mess. Maybe you put like tahini in there or something, and like it's really sticky and kind of gross. But like you're having to take stuff out, take it all apart, put it back together, put the S-blade in. All right, you think you got it right this time. Put all the ingredients back in. Okay, you realize you forgot one. All right, go ahead and add that. Then you put the top on the other way. Or you've made an adjustment to the S-blade the other way. Top, it clicks into place. It's the right noise. You turn the on button on. You're pulse blending. You're pulse blending to perfection. You're making your date balls. You're making your chopped salad. Whatever it is that you're making. You put that food processor together perfectly. You got all your ingredients in there. And it's good to go. Everything is clicked into place, and you're making the bliss balls of a lifetime. You know, you're making the chopped salad of your dreams. All right. That is available. That is available. The breakthrough energy is definitely available. So I definitely want to encourage y'all to keep that consistency. If you know different practices are serving you, or you feel really drawn and called to a different practice, like Reiki, for example, follow your dang heart, okay? Follow your heart. Follow your heart. It won't mislead you, you know. The mind is where, you know, things can really mislead, right? And most people are so disconnected with their heart, and that's the problem. That's where rose quartz in the house, right? She really helps with the heart healing and tuning into the heart and the intelligence of the heart. You know, if any of y'all have heard of heart math, they are like doing so much groundbreaking research in uncovering and teaching the power and the intelligence of the heart and what happens when you have heart-mind coherence, meaning your heart and your brain are working together and are like on the same frequency. They're harmonizing. That's when a lot of magic can happen. So, another thing I wanted to mention is that Reiki helps reveal your truth and empowers you to claim it. This is another revelation I had on my walk. So, your truth is probably pretty obvious, okay? It's probably obvious, but it's not obvious to you because you're too close to like your whole life and your whole self and everything. Someone else could probably see it pretty clearly. Like, clearly you're an artist. Clearly you're a creative. Clearly you have all these gifts and talents. Like, I can see it in other people, even if they can't see it. Even if they've given up or they're not actively engaged in those gifts and talents. So Reiki, for me, has really empowered me to know what my truth is and to claim it and to fully embrace it, to fully say yes to it, okay? And not be afraid of it, not hide from it, not be like, it's too weird, I need to do something that's like more normal or more secure or more in alignment with the, you know, what someone else, some external authority wants from me, right? Like letting go of all that. And Reiki has helped me let go and detach from all of that, like really detach from all of that and start coming into my own truth, you know, learning what it is and seeing how obvious it is. And for me, what was coming through yesterday was just the example of like, I am a mystic. Okay, I was realizing this, you know, in sharing here on all these lives, like, oh my God, I've had so many mystical experiences, like so many and so many different kinds, you know, working with different practices and different traditions. And, you know, on my walk yesterday, I was like, duh, you're a mystic, like, duh, like, that's my truth. Like, it's so obvious, you know, looking back over my life now, that that's something that I've like denied or I've been like embarrassed of and not really embraced and claimed fully. But Reiki has really empowered me to claim it and to understand that is a part of who I am. That is a part of why I'm here, and to fully embrace that and from that space of embracing and empowerment around that truth, like I can share it. You know, I can share it with others who are into this stuff too. Because I remember I've talked about certain mystical experiences in certain scenarios, but for the most part I've kept a lot of it in. I've kept a lot of it in because I don't want to be seen as weird. I don't want to be seen as bragging or boasting or just seen in any kind of like negative light. There was this, I was running this program of like wanting to be likable and also wanting to play small a bit too. Because when I'm talking about like, you know, the experience of like the Kundalini yoga retreat where, you know, everything, I closed my eyes and everything was lit up and all these divine ascended masters were there, all these different spirits were there. There was this whole vortex in the middle of the room, and like I've had a lot of really crazy experiences, mystical experiences that are available to all of us. By the way, if you learn the right skills and the right techniques, you can do this too. This isn't just like, oh, I'm so good at this, right? It's like we can all do this, okay? I've managed to stumble upon a lot of these practices that, you know, based on like my soul path and past incarnations, I've been blessed to find at a relatively young age. You know, despite despite, the conditioning of the world and the present situation of the world and how children are conditioned and everything. So there is this voice in my head I've noticed lately, that this playing small program, I called it, okay? It was this false voice telling me that, I shouldn't be talking about this stuff. I shouldn't be sharing my mystical experiences, or like the extrasensory things I've experienced or different perceptions I've experienced, because, your powers might be taken away from you. Your powers might be taken away from you if you talk about these things, okay? And I identified this voice, and I was like, whoa, what's this? What is this? Okay. And guess what emotion that voice was triggering? It wasn't love, it was fear. It was fear. It was fear. It was keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Shut your throat chakra back down. Stop sharing about this stuff. Okay? You're going to lose your powers. We're going to take it away. It's false. It's a false voice. Hello. Hello, new friends coming in. I appreciate y'all. This is a playing small program. Okay? This is a playing small program. It's a playing small conditioning. You can look at it that way. It's in the collective to play small. Keep your mouth shut, especially if you're a light worker. By all means, if you're a light worker, please play small. That's what this voice is, and it's a false voice. In my experience, my truth, and my power, it's a false voice. Okay? And I was asking my guides, I was like, is this true? Like, do I need to stop talking about this stuff? Are y'all gonna not hang around me if I share these things? They were like, Taylor, of course not. Like, we're so happy. Like, finally, that's why we have blocked your throat chakra, is so you would feel empowered and you could start sharing about this stuff. You could start sharing about this stuff. Because if you remember, they're telling me this. If you remember the times that you would share about these things, people were so receptive. They were so hungry for this information. They were so hungry to learn more. Okay, like the few times I would kind of get up the confidence to share about these things and start kind of trickling a few things out, I would have the attention of many people, often men, who were like, it's always the girls who are so psychic, it's always the girls. I'm like, y'all, you can do this too. You just have different, a few maybe different tweaks to take care of in order to open the doors of perception, like we were talking about yesterday. To be fully sensitive. To have your senses wide open all the time. It's the key to the mystical experiences, okay? And it's hard to maintain that in the world that we're in. If you're tuned into the fear programming and you're overstimulated in a city and all of this, the EMF is blasting. There are a lot of obstacles to this right now. And I empathize with that. I hear you. I totally hear you. But to get these mystical experiences and really perceive what's going on when you're working with Reiki, for example, the more your senses can be open, the more you can perceive what is happening, the healing that's taking place. Okay? The healing is taking place whether or not you perceive it. The magic is taking place. The Reiki energy is doing its thing, whether you can perceive it or not. So I'm not here to say if you can't perceive it, it's not happening. The Reiki practitioner who's giving a healing session and feels relaxed the whole entire time and feels good and can feel the energy is flowing, is transmitting just as much healing as someone like myself who, maybe I'm perceiving this whole visionary experience going down and talking to all the different guides that are, sorry y'all, I got a message, but you can talking to all the different guides who are present and working on the person receiving the Reiki. The Reiki is going through both, but the one person who's super relaxed, maybe they're receiving so much healing That like Reiki's like, nah, you really need to like not perceive this right now. Perceiving it would be a distraction from the healing that's going down for you and the person. Okay, whereas maybe I'm doing the healing, I'm seeing a lot, and they're like, you seeing is not blocking the healing for you or the person. Okay, so that's what I want to say about that. Reiki helps reveal to you your truth, which I feel like in retrospect to a lot of you is going to be really obvious. It's going to just be like, yeah, those are my gifts and talents. That is what I am here to do. And by golly gee whiz, I'm ready to share them. You know, if maybe I've taken a step away and haven't been sharing those gifts and talents, now is the dang time. Now is the time. Now is the time, friends. We're being asked to step up right now. We really are. We really, really are. There's the space for that. You can reach so many people on the internet. You don't even have to be in person to do this. You know? And your people can find you from all over the world. That's what's so cool. And this really is, it's the age of Aquarius starting out. A lot is being transmitted through the airwaves. Let's start creating spaces and communities and sacred spaces online. Use the airwaves to do that. I'm feeling really empowered to do that. And I know many of you who are tuning into these lives, you're feeling that. It's like we're creating a sacred space online. We're creating a healing container online. The same thing happens in my one-on-one healing sessions. The same is happening in my video mini course. The same will be true of the full course and the Reiki 1 and 2 courses that I'll be teaching. Okay? We can create more and more sacredness on the internet, right? This isn't just a negative thing, okay? It's not just like, a place to make money or like where everybody's selling stuff. There is a lot of that going down, but like there are people who are doing really awesome things online too. So, light and dark, see things in balance, light and shadow, good and bad. It's all neutral. It's whatever we ascribe to it. It's whatever we ascribe to it. Yeah. So I wanted to say that. I also wanted to mention I've gotten questions about am I going to be teaching Reiki Master? And yes, the answer is yes, I will. I will for sure. I'll be teaching advanced Reiki training in Reiki Master. That is in the works for sure. But the thing is, I wanted to at least do Reiki 1 and 2 first and start having more of that level students, because it takes 6 months before you can do the Reiki Master training. So I wanted to really pump out a lot of Reiki 1 and 2 students first. But if I get enough interest from people who already have Reiki 1 and 2, I will offer a master class sooner, okay? Sooner than waiting. Say, I'm doing my 1 and 2 in May. I was thinking, I might wait until November to do my first ART and Master, so that will have been 6 months for my Reiki 1 and 2 students to wait until they're ready for that course. But if we get enough Masters who are ready, I will offer a Reiki ART, that's Advanced Reiki Training, and Master in July. I know one of you is interested, and I have someone else who already has 1 and 2. So we'll see. If I get enough, I'll offer it sooner. But definitely for sure by November, I will offer the advanced level Reiki, which is so good, y'all. All the Reiki's good. All of it's good. Okay. What else did I want to say? Y'all got any questions? I know I've been talking non-stop. I had a lot to say today, It's so funny. Yeah, I keep getting downloads, and I got my journal for myself, which is like thoughts, prayers, affirmations, whatever I'm experiences and stuff, what's going on in my day. I got my journal for my microgreens and sprouts, because I keep track of when I'm sowing my seeds and watering and harvesting and all that. Then I got my notebook for my business and for my Reiki, and so anytime I receive these downloads, I will jot them down either in my personal journal or my business journal, or on my phone. So it's like the downloads are everywhere. There's not just one location. But I get the download, and then often I'll write it down on what I'm going to talk about for the day. But if y'all, and today we had a lot, obviously. We've been going live here for almost an hour. But if y'all have any questions or comments or things you want me to touch on right now, I am more than willing to do that. So y'all, I'm going to take a sip of my water in my crystal vessel here. You can't see it, but there's Sacred 7 crystals down here. Sacred 7, it looks like this. The ones in here are actually raw. Or not raw, they're tumbled. This one's raw. This one's raw. These are tumbled. This is also tumbled and polished Sacred 7. So each one looks totally different. And it's a high vibe stone, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's next level. They're all beautiful. They get so jealous if I talk about one like one is the best. Y'all are all great. Oh, the crystal charged water. You can taste the difference. Oops. You can totally taste the difference. It's structured. Here, I'll show you. I've shown this like so many times, but I think it's so cool. The more you can drink structured water, the better. Because we are mostly water. And staying really hydrated right now, too. Very, very important. Alright, I'm not seeing any comments from y'all. Y'all pretty quiet today. Something else that came through that I realized recently was Ayurveda. If any of y'all are familiar with Ayurveda, that's something I teach and have studied myself. I found it immediately on my spiritual awakening back in 2011. I got this book, Healing Depression the Mind-Body Way. And it was like yoga and Ayurveda, because at that time I was very, very depressed and very dark. So I found Ayurveda then and have been working with it on and off over the last almost 10 years, right? And it's in my recipe ebooks too. Like, I saw how Ayurveda and raw food diet could really flow together and work together, even though Ayurveda really recommends like a more cooked diet. I was like, no. At my Ayurveda training, I was like, no, like raw food diet's better. And they're like, yeah, actually it is. Like, it's what the yogis eat, you know, it's what the ones who are like more enlightened eat, and it's the most sattvic diet, but most people can't handle it. And I'm like, yeah, but like it is optimal, and why not teach what's optimal for people, right? It can be challenging to fully embrace that and adopt it, but it can be done. Like, I'm doing it. Many of you have tuned in today. I've seen, like, Robin is another long-term raw vegan, and I know many of you tuning in here at Joyful Raw Life are on the raw vegan path. Jonas too, hardcore raw vegan. So, but I realized recently that Ayurveda, so what they say it is, is an ancient Indian system of medicine. It's like the other branch of yoga. And yoga being 8 limbs, that's more than just contortionists, you know, being flexible in the asanas. Yoga has 8 different parts that are, you know, ethics, meditation, sense withdrawal, the asanas. It's got cleansing in it. There's a lot of goodness there on just the yogic path. And Ayurveda, I realized is yogic shamanism. Yeah, you too, darling. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on the raw vegan path. Jen Extravagant. Absolutely. Yeah, raw vegans in the house. See, we doing it. It's not just for enlightened folk. Like, I'm not enlightened, and I'm raw vegan. And I'm not living in a cave either. I mean, maybe compared to some of y'all, like, my existence is like living in a cave, but I guarantee I got the Wi-Fi. Like, it's not a cave. It's a little ohana here. It's a little ohana house. But yeah, Ayurveda is yogic shamanism, and the more I've learned about shamanism recently is Like it's working with plants. It's herbalism. It's more than just learning this plant is good for that. It's connecting with the spirit of the plant too. And the spirits of the plant, what's cool, Reiki can help you do this. Connect with the spirit of the plant to learn what the plant can be used for. How the plant can help the human. How the plant can help heal your body, your mind. What medicine is in the plant. Some of these plants too, it's not just mind body healing. It's like they'll help you heal your emotions. They'll like help unblock your chakras. Like they can do a lot. Depends on the plant, okay? But yeah, I'm realizing that Ayurveda is yogic shamanism, and you know that was really cool. It's like, of course, I've been interested in that for a long time, and actually, I need to look at more original Ayurvedic texts to see what else is there. You know, it's worth looking into, because a lot of the Ayurveda I've looked at has been, you know, from Western authors. The Ayurveda course I took in India was from Indian teachers, but she was like a modern Ayurvedic practitioner, and I think Ayurveda, my guess is, it's deeply mystical, and it's kind of like psychology, like where woke psychologists like Carl Jung, for example, like anytime to be more. I'm not going to share the live with you. If you have a comment or question, you can drop it in the chat. This is my show. This is me, the crystals, and my guides. This is not a shared show right now. But if you have a comment, you drop it down. What was I saying? Yeah, that distracted me. It was a good download too. Okay, to be taken seriously in a modern context, I think Ayurveda has probably had to like kind of take the mystical parts out of it to be like strictly physical, to be strictly like more observable. So they're probably not talking about the plant spirits and that kind of thing. Kind of like in psychology, for example, at my mainstream clinical psych program, we had a course that was, it was personality psychology, I believe. And we were learning about each of like the kind of founding fathers of psychology and different schools of thought about how they view human personality. And we came to Carl Jung, who some of y'all might know who he is, but he was one of Freud's students. Y'all know who Freud is, you know, penis guy, like penis envy, hysteria. He's like the quintessential psychoanalyst. Yeah. And so Jung was a student of Freud, but he was more mystical. And I think to be taken seriously, like psychology, like in that personality psych class, like we just like mentioned Jung, and he was like misunderstood and like written off as a mystic. When in reality, I'm realizing like these people are like the most woke of them all. They saw the big picture. He saw the big picture. And all of this information, he talks about like the collective unconscious and the subconscious, and maybe you've heard like the biofield and that kind of thing, where all the information, y'all, literally anything you want to know, the answer is there if you tune into it. So true. Jen Extravagant is asking about, I love my crystals, but I'm looking to buy larger specimens like you have. Do you recommend any websites or Etsy shops? Obviously, you know Carly, Mountain Mommy. Her jewelry is phenomenally beautiful. This stone is from a necklace she made and I got before, like a couple years ago. But this stone jumped out of the necklace because she was like, I'm not a necklace stone anymore, I'm a palm stone. And now every time I'm doing these lives, I'm holding my Sacred Seven and my Labrador right, because they're very good. They work together. They help with channeling, basically. They help me get out of the way so my guides can talk to you. Yeah, so obviously Carly, she's selling like smaller things in jewelry. Yeah, Jung was misunderstood. You know, they never taught enough on him. No, because they don't get him. That's like the chapter on. Okay, I took a cognitive psych class, a neuropsych class in grad school, and Jung, they didn't even teach the chapter on consciousness because the professor was like, basically, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to teach it. I was like, what? That's the one chapter I want to hear about. Like, come on now. So funny. Yeah, you have some of Carly's jewelry on now. Yeah, exactly. Her stuff is great. Mom, Carly, I was literally just talking about you. Literally just talking about you and your jewelry. That is funny. Synchronicity. Okay, Carl Jung talks about synchronicity. You have something in the mind, it's non-physical, and then immediately it comes into your physical reality. That is the definition of synchronicity. But yeah, we were just talking about Jen Extravagant was asking me where I get larger crystals. These big babies here, some of these larger ones, this one too, these are all from Quartzsite, Arizona. Quartzsite, Arizona. It is a whole like tourist destination. One of the shops is open all the time. And Quartzsite, Arizona it's great. But for me it was great because it was in between the drive from Phoenix, Arizona, where I was living, Scottsdale, Arizona, and LA. You know, so anytime I drove, I could stop. And on my birthday, a couple years ago, my mom and I were driving from Arizona to California, and we stopped at Quartzsite. And we got like, what was it, Mom? Like a lot of dollars worth of crystals. It was my birthday present. So this came from Quartzsite. I highly recommend you visit there. One shop is open year round, and then there's at least, this was pre-COVID times. Every winter they were opening it up, and it was like tents and tents and tents of people selling crystals, and like people would be driving their RVs in, and it was a whole tourist thing in the winter because Quartzsite, it's hot. Mom and I were there around my birthday, which is in July, and it was so hot. We were sweating, and it's like when it's that hot in the desert, even if you're driving in a car, like it's hot in the car even with the AC on. People don't realize that, but it's a thing. So Quartzsite, Arizona, absolutely wonderful. Find yourself a gem show near you. There's often like big crystal and gem shows. I know in Tucson there was a big one. In Denver there's a big one. Different areas will have like maybe like an annual gem show or a couple times a year. I know you're asking for websites. I keep telling you physical locations because that's where I've gotten most of my crystals too. I will say that. There's nothing wrong with ordering crystals online, but personally, I like to go in a place where they're all there and just see what I'm drawn to. Feel what I'm drawn to. I've gotten a lot of my crystals also in Sedona. Great place to visit. There is a Reiki retreat there in September, and I am praying that it's in person this year because I want to go to Sedona so dang bad and do a Reiki retreat, and also go. There are some really nice crystal shops there. I think one of them may have an online store. What is it called? I can DM you this because I'm probably not going to remember this right now, but they are Reiki people who also sell crystals, and having that combo is like phenomenal. It's next level. Like you walk in that store and it's just like like angelic energy, really good. That store also does aura photos, which I got one there, and it looked totally different than other aura photos I found. It's so hard for me to order online. I need to be able to feel them. Yes. Yeah, Carly, do you have any places online that you recommend, like for bigger pieces? I also got, yeah, I want to go to a gem show too. Yeah, I really do. I've actually never been to one. I've been to like psychic fairs, but not a gem show, which is like where you can get the real big ones. These, are the points, and then also like this I got from a bulk distributor in Arizona, in Phoenix. It was in Tempe, actually, or Mesa. I like drove for it. I was like, I don't care, like I need to go get a bunch of crystals. Priorities. Pacific Beads has online auctions on Facebook. Cool. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, because I want to make more jewelry too. I love it. There's only so much time for everything, but because I made this at someone else's, like she was like showing us how to make malas, and it was all her beads, and I was noticing the quality is like okay, it's pretty good, but like I would like to buy like really high quality beads, which I know you do, and work with that, because some of these it's like it just could be better, and you can feel it. It's like even a lower quality crystal is still beautiful and awesome, but if you can like find the really high quality ones, their vibration is higher. You do feel it. There are here in San Diego and have beautiful larger crystals. Oh, they are here in San Diego. Okay, so Pacific Beads. I'm gonna write that one down because I can't see these comments after the live's over, unfortunately. But yeah, you can look for a wholesaler in your area. I went to one and I bought, like these came in, I think a 6-pack, the smoky quartz points, the rose quartz came in a 6-pack, the citrine came in like a certain number of pounds pack. Then I got also these quartz points too. These came in a lot of pounds pack that I just got, and I'm so glad I did. What else do we have here? I'm trying to think what I bought bulk. I got different ones. I want to do maybe like a crystal tour one day, because I've got some blue stones that are nice. I got more smoky. I got other things that I ordered in bulk. Yeah, and up here y'all can see too. I have some other big ones. The amethyst is like a candle holder, and that someone gave to my mom as a gift, and it was before I got her into crystals. She was like, here, you can have this. The big blue ones too, I got at Quartzsite, and that other pink sparkly one I got at Quartzsite, and yeah, they all awesome. What else could I share on that? Yeah. Crystals are fun, basically. They are allies. They are definite allies during this time. They're total allies. Oh, another thing I got from the wholesaler, I got a 25-pound bag of mixed assorted crystals, and that might have been the most fun purchase of them all, because it's these right here. You can see these are small tumbled ones. And it's all different kinds. And so I give these to people, like, you know, I'm invited somewhere, I'll take like 2 handfuls and just like give them to someone. When I had Reiki and coaching sessions in person, I would always give my clients, you know, let them choose a crystal. But these are really good. I'll use these on my microgreen seeds when I germinate. If you've seen my pictures and they have the crystals on top of the trays, this is what I'm using those for. And it's really nice to just have like a lot like this. Like if I go on a hike or something and I want to take an offering, I'll bring some crystals and I'll leave them at the hike or the spot in nature. Like if I'm going on a trip too, I'll bring some extra crystals with me. To give to any friends that I might meet there, or to take as an offering also if I'm going on a retreat or something. So yeah, highly recommend, if you can, go to a shop or something, and then we can all check out Pacific Beads, see what's there. How did you get them to Hawaii? That's a good story. I wanted to share that, Mom. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, so Hawaii. How did I get the crystals to Hawaii? Well, I didn't put them in a box and ship them because it would have weighed like 100 pounds. Okay, I have so many pounds of crystals, probably more than 100 pounds, like a lot of pounds. Okay, B, like, how the heck do you wrap some of these babies? Like this one, she'll like, parts of her will come off. Like some of them are not like tumbled, like they're raw, and parts of it will chip off and don't want to hurt the babies. So fragile cargo, really fragile cargo, hard to pack. Okay, and yeah, so shipping them, it would have been fragile. They probably would have broken. It would have cost a bloody fortune. Okay, it would have cost so much money. I didn't ship anything from Hawaii other than my car. My car, okay? And to get your car from Hawaii, or to Hawaii, you can have it picked up at your house by like, one of those trailers with the cars on it. And then they'll trailer it to like the tow truck ones where you see like a bunch of new cars on that kind of 18-wheeler trailer. One of those can pick up your car, take it then to Long Beach, California, or Seattle, depending on, where you live, whatever's closer. For me, it would have gone to Long Beach. I just drove it. I drove my car to Long Beach. And then from Long Beach, you ship your completely empty car. It has to be completely empty, and it has to be clean, inside and out. You ship it from Long Beach to Hawaii, and it takes like 3 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks during COVID time, because everything's slower and there are less of these ships, container ships, that will take your car. So it's supposed to be completely empty, which, most people think, oh, I'll just ship my car, load my car up with all my stuff, it won't be a problem. You don't get to do that. Okay, you don't get to do that. Now, I lived in Hawaii back in 2015, and I shipped my car when I was here, from here back to Long Beach, empty. So I knew there was some flexibility, okay? If you got secret compartments in your car, if you got like a tire compartment in your car, I tested it, okay? So when I shipped from Hawaii back to Long Beach, I had some things there. I put some things in the secret compartments, and it worked out. They were there when I got my car. So I was like, all right, leap of faith, followed my heart, listened to the crystals. The crystals were like, yo, Taylor, if you wrap us up real good and you put us around the spare tire compartment of your vehicle, we'll be fine. I was like, y'all, like, are you sure? And they're like, yes, we all need to go with you, though. All of us. This isn't like a selective thing where you just take the ones that you work with most. We all need to go. It's like, okay, so I'm wrapping them up in all these, like, my turmeric stained tea towels, wrapping them up, putting them in plastic bags, wrapping them, tucking them away around the spare tire in my little Honda HRV SUV. They're all tucked in. And then, I closed the lid on that area, and I'm like, I'm still feeling like a little anxious about it, because, my God, like, hundreds of dollars, probably at least $1,000 worth of crystals, and more than just the $1,000. It's like, they're my babies, they're my crystal babies, they're like family members, they're like my plants, they're like, my cat, like they're a part of the family. So still feeling a little anxious about that. And I was like, what are the chances they're going to steal them or something? Like, because that's the thing. That's why they say you can't ship anything over in your car. It has to be empty, because they don't want to be liable for anything you put in your car. They just want to be liable for the vehicle, getting over there. And actually, you sign your rights away, I think, a little bit on that one, too. So they don't want to be liable and responsible, because, the car will change hands. Like, it's changed hands in Honolulu, and, like, somebody will get in and drive it, from one ship to the next, that kind of thing. So they don't want to be responsible. So I put all the crystals in, packed them all in, and then I'm like, okay, final level of protection. Other than, activating all the Reiki and everything and being like, protect, praying as I packed, praying as I drove the car to Los Angeles to Long Beach, praying, when I dropped her off that everything would be safe. I also, next level, this is kind of funny, I wrote a note. I put my crystal grid, my Reiki, World Peace Reiki crystal grid printout on top. And then I had this piece of paper where I wrote a note, and I was like, dear person or whatever. And I was like, these are magic crystals. They will curse you if you steal them. Anyone who takes what isn't offered will be cursed. And I said, however, if you feel drawn and curious, you can take one of the smaller ones. Meaning one of my like 25-pound like bulk crystals. It was packed in a separate bag. I was like, you're welcome to take one of those stones if you feel like you want one. But basically you'll be cursed if you take anything other than that. And yeah, so like 3-4 weeks later, after dropping my car off in Long Beach, after I was praying and sending Reiki the whole time too. I was like, safe passage, like for the car and for the crystals. And when I got my car, picked up my car, guess who was in the car? All of them didn't look like anything bad happened. Like they were all there. They were safe, and they were like, Taylor, hey girl, we made it. We told you, trust us. And I was Castle Andressa. That's such a good idea to threaten to curse them. I wasn't going to. How I felt about it was like they're gonna have negative karma from stealing, and so really I'm not like cursing them in any kind of additional way. They're gonna simply have negative karma from the act of stealing something that wasn't offered. That's what stores should put on their signs. You steal, you'll be cursed. Yeah, and I mean it's not like the store would have to then curse them. It's that it's they will create negative karma from that, and like invite someone to steal from them if they're stealing something that's not offered. So that is the final crystal story of the day. I actually have to go, friends, because I have a call with my girl Tina. Y'all know Tina. Some of y'all do. But I just want to say once again, I'm offering my Reiki 1 and 2 training online in May. Y'all please join the wait list. The link is in my bio or in the description for the video. If you're feeling you're resonating and your heart is telling you to take Reiki class, then do it. Just do it. That's all I'll say. There's also my free video mini course, The Best Kept Secrets of Radiant Health and Spiritual Awakening. And you can have private videos delivered to your email inbox straight from me that aren't being posted anywhere else on the Flower of Healing, the 5 petals of the Flower of Healing for Earth Angels, where I'm teaching really awesome stuff, and it's going to be real juicy. It's already juicy. It's going to get even juicier. So that's that. I will see y'all tomorrow on Instagram Live at Joyful Raw Life. I'm not sure what time. Sometime between 10 and 12, usually Hawaii time. Much love to all y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all, all the interaction, all the energy shared. Y'all are awesome. Mwah. Have a beautiful